Welcome to Losing It 2025, the week 21 update. Actually, it's the week 22 update. I wasn't sure that I would be able to actually do an update this week, but here I am, and here it is. So why am I doing tonight's update from a treadmill? Find out why in just a moment. The reason that I'm doing this week's update on a treadmill is that I have made, as you may have noticed from some of the shorts that I've posted, a challenge for myself to walk 20,000 steps every day in the month of June. Now, one thing I failed to adequately take into account is the fact that being on vacation, I'm actually taking a trip with my family. And while I fully anticipate being able to walk 20,000 steps a day while I'm on a cruise, I did not consider the day that I would be driving to the port. So it is day 4 of my 20,000 steps a day challenge, and I am facing a bit of a problem. I did not have a chance to do my morning walk today because we're getting ready to take a trip. I have currently about 3,881 steps just from normal activity this morning, and I'm about to get in the car and drive, sitting still, of course, for the next 5 hours or more. Not walking, driving, not walking.
Still not walking.
This is for B-roll.
Doesn't matter. Still not walking.
Still not walking. They won't hear this part because well, maybe they will. I'm still not walking.
There are many reasons why I'm here, Paladin said.
But I'm still down.
Failures, crimes, betrayals.
You guys getting pizza?
I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. It's just us, right? And they're asking.
Yeah, that's Houston.
That's huge.
Once we got here, had dinner with family, kind of hung out and did some things on the beach, got in a few steps. So here we are, Galveston, Texas, trying to get in a few steps. I'm way short because I spent a lot of time in the car today. But you can't argue with the fact that this is a beautiful place to take a walk. At the end of the day, I'm sitting at about 10,000 steps, which on a normal day would be fantastic. But if you've challenged yourself to walk 20,000 steps in a day, 10,000 obviously is only halfway there. So I am currently walking on a treadmill. Hey, so I am 1 mile in to my walk. Got at least a couple more to go. I had to stop for a minute or two to go grab some things out of the car and take them up to the hotel room for my wife. So it's taking a little longer than I anticipated to actually, get all this done. My pace is pretty good, feeling all right. And like I said, 1 mile in, 2 more to go probably. And then we'll see where we're at on the step count. So I want to talk about this week for just a moment or two. And before I do that, I want to acknowledge the poor quality of this video. One of the commitments that I made to myself when I started this channel was that I was not going to invest a lot in equipment, okay? And that I wasn't going to spend an inordinate amount of time on editing. Because the reality is, I've got 2 jobs, a family, and I need to spend time prepping meals and doing all those things. I am not a YouTuber. I'm a teacher, I'm a pastor, I'm a father, a husband, a grandfather. Just like you, I've got things going on. So you're not going to see highly polished, highly edited videos on this channel. You're going to see a lot of raw footage, a lot of shaky camera work. Hopefully you can hear me just fine on the microphone on my phone. So for now, at least, this is what we've got in regards to quality of video and editing. So I apologize if that is in any way distracting. But I want to talk a little bit about my progress this week and what I've done and how things have gone. First of all, obviously, I have increased the amount of exercise that I'm doing on my weight loss journey. I've committed to trying to walk 20,000 steps every day in the month of June to establish the habit and the pattern of walking regularly as the cornerstone of my exercise and activity. So this is day 4 of 20,000 steps. It's been going great. I'm loving it. I've always hated running, but I'm finding that I really love walking. And for now, that's what I'm going to do. In addition to that, I've also started going to the gym at least 3 times a week and doing strength training. I'm about a week into that, so I've gone 3 or 4 times so far, and I'm enjoying that as well. Adding that to my exercise routine has been a really great addition. So those are both going wonderfully. I'll talk about how I ate this week in another mile or so. Stay tuned. All right, we're 2 miles in and definitely getting closer to that step count goal that I have. And I've talked with you a little bit already about the exercise that I've been doing, the time at the gym and the additional walking, but I haven't really talked about my diet. So one of the things I said in my last weekly update was that I was focusing less on my calorie budget and focusing more on satiation. In other words, if I was hungry, I would eat. And if I wasn't hungry, then there was no need to eat a bunch of extra calories that I didn't need. So typically, over the last week, I tracked my food, particularly in the morning and midday. And then toward the end of the day, if I wasn't that hungry, I would eat just a little bit, still staying well within my caloric budget. If I was hungrier, then I'd eat a little more and I'd go ahead and track it. The bottom line is, pretty much every day this week, I stayed well under my caloric budget. Several days staying under it by as much as 500 or 600 calories. So that's been great. It's been very easy to stay on this diet while maintaining a caloric deficit, even though I haven't been as stringent about tracking every single thing. I'm paying more attention to how I'm feeling as opposed to weighing every gram of food. So I'm still tracking, I'm still weighing the food, still using measuring cups. I'm just not feeling obligated to spend every calorie in my caloric budget. So with the increased exercise and sticking to my diet effectively, it would seem that I would have lost a good deal of weight. Well, I'll let you know how much I lost or didn't lose or gained, as the case may be, right after I finish this next mile. All right, 3.29 miles, and it has brought me to the necessary 20,000 steps for me to be able to get off of this treadmill, go sit down somewhere a little more comfortable, and finish the rest of this video. So sit tight, I'll be right back with you. Okay, so here I am hanging out in the stairwell because honestly there aren't very many quiet places around this hotel where I could record. The lobby is still active with people. If I step outside, the sound of the wind in the pool is just too noisy. There are other people in the fitness center right now, and I've got people sleeping up in the room. So, hey, unless I want to go out to the parking lot and sit in my car, the stairwell is where it's at. And what a great green room this is, huh? Kind of like it. At any rate, I've talked with you about my exercise goals. I've talked with you about the progress that I've made there 4 days in a row. 4 days in a row at 20,000 steps per day. So, woohoo, doing it, loving it, making it happen even when it's inconvenient. And I am actually really enjoying this process. My feet are a little sore, but I'm getting used to it, and my breathing is better, my pace is better. I'm able to continue for longer distances and still feel good. So my body is adapting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it adapts further. My diet has been great, been working on a calorie deficit, been eating a plant-based diet, sticking to that and doing really well. So how did I do in the weight loss department? How much did I win, lose, or gain, right? So the reality is, a week ago on Wednesday, I was 271 pounds, and when I weighed myself this morning, I am 271 pounds. So it is a wash. Now, at one point, I had dropped down to 269, but then I'm back up again to 271, and it's just been that little dip and fluctuation. Why is that happening? I really don't know. Do I feel bad about it, or am I worried about it? Absolutely not. Last week I lost, well, not this last week, but the week before I lost 3 pounds. The week before that I lost 3 pounds. And since then I have added this walking and exercise to my routine. And so clearly my body is going through a period of adjusting to that, and it's not a problem. The reality is I feel fantastic, and I'm loving this process. I'm going to stick with it, see where I land in a week. But here's the thing. This week is going to be a little different than most weeks, because tomorrow we set sail on a cruise. I am going to be trying to stay on a mostly whole food plant-based diet while I go on a 4-day cruise through the Caribbean. So it's going to be a short cruise, just to Cozumel and back again. I do have one scheduled cheat meal that I will be enjoying on one of those days. And I'm not going to be tracking or counting calories. I'm going to be sticking to a plant-based diet, but I'm not going to be tracking necessarily. I will take a lot of pictures. I will see how I feel when I get back. I'm going to be trying to focus mainly on feelings of satiation. I'm going to try not to overeat or eat things that I shouldn't eat. So we'll see how it goes on a more free-range style approach to my eating plan. Most of the time when people go on a cruise, they come back, quite a bit heavier. They've gained a few pounds. My goal is to not gain any weight. I don't care if I lose any or not this week. I just don't want to gain any. So I'm going to continue with my walking. I'm going to continue going to the gym on the ship. I'm going to continue to make healthy choices at the dinner table, and we'll see where I land in a week. And I will check back with you for the next update next Wednesday. So this is all I have to say for today. It is the week 22 update of Losing It 2025. Thanks for sticking around. I haven't edited this video yet, so I have no idea how long it'll be once I roll in all the extra footage that I'm going to put in between my workout sessions. But I just want to thank you, if you're still here, for taking the time to watch the video. Please follow or subscribe and like and comment if you'd like. Your support really just is such a blessing. So I really appreciate the support and the encouragement and the comments that you leave. So thank you again for that, and you have a blessed week.